everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And if this is your first time here, then an extra special welcome to you. My name is Trish, and you can find me on Instagram as Tie-Dye Diva. You can also find me on Ravelry as Tie-Dye Diva. And if you're a fan of journaling and anything else related to the paper crafts, you can find me on Instagram as the_fibertree. And all of these links will be in the description box below, which will also contain the show notes with links. So I hope everyone is doing well today. I have a few things to share with you. I've got some finished objects. I will catch you up on some of the things I've been working on since the last time we chatted. And I will also do a little life update towards the end. So let's get right to it. Let's talk first about what I am wearing. So this is the Oralis sweater. It is a pattern by Jennifer Steingass, and I'm going to hold up my iPad. I have my big iPad Pro with me today so I can show you what this beautiful sweater looks like. So as you can see, it is a top-down yoke construction sweater, and I opted to do mine in a short sleeve version, and there are quite a few short sleeve versions of this pattern out there in the finished objects on Ravelry. Here's one example. I just love knitting a short sleeve sweater. You just have so much flexibility. You don't have to worry about sleeve island. It definitely takes less yarn. So if you have a beautiful yarn and you want to knit a sweater and you don't have enough for a long sleeve, then oftentimes you can do really, really well just making a short sleeve sweater. So I'm going to stand up so that you can see my sweater. So I knit this a few years back. And if you hear rustling in the back, that is Cash being Cash. I need to take a look and make sure he's not into something that's going to hurt him. So hold on one second. Okay, I'm back. So what was I saying? Yes, so I just love all the virtues of knitting a short sleeve sweater. And because this is a yoke construction, even though it's a short sleeve sweater, they can tend to come down a little bit lower. So you still have some really good arm coverage. And yeah, I just love it. You can also put a blouse under your long sleeve, your short sleeve sweaters, as well as t-shirts. I'm really a big fan of thin, I think they call them tissue t-shirts, long sleeve t-shirts under something like this to give you an extra layer of comfort. So I knit mine in, let me see here. I knit my Oralis in Plucky Knitter Sweater DK, and the color is Modern Vintage. Absolutely love this color. At one point, I was actually collecting this color on all of the bases, so I still have quite a few bases of this color because I think it's so pretty. And the color changing yarn is from Yarn Hero, and this is her color mix DK. And I don't have a color name for this, but I just absolutely love the combination of the two. I think it worked out really, really well. And here is a larger picture of my sweater. Let's see here. There we go. So I knit this sweater about 1 inch. Now I'm waiting for the ice maker to finish making ice. So I knit my sweater 1 inch longer than the pattern called for, just so I could have a little bit more coverage in my midsection, and I think that turned out really, really well. So again, this is the Oralis sweater by Jennifer Steingass. Probably will not be my last time knitting this pattern. So let's move on into a couple of things that I have finished since we last chatted. And I'll start with this one. This was actually a test knit that I was doing for Tiffany Lynn. And let me make sure I get the name of this pattern correctly. It was just released this week. And just for reference, today is Thursday, February the 20th, 2025. And it is called the Waffle Ridgeline shawl. So here it is. This pattern starts from one end and you knit to the center portion where you see that point, and then on the other side you start your decreases and it ends at the other point. I don't know if you can tell, but the waffle pattern changes from the middle section to the other section. It's very, very similar, but it also has some very, very subtle differences, which made this pattern so enjoyable to knit. I'm gonna try this on the way I intend to wear it. Shawls like this are just so perfect for this time of year where the weather is about to change from being super, super cold all the time to maybe chilly mornings and chilly nights, and you just need just a little something around your neck. So this is my favorite way to wear a shawl like this. Honestly, I wouldn't even call this a shawl. I would call it a scarf. And there's actually two versions of this pattern. You can knit it as a shawl. I'm sorry, as a scarf, which is even more shallow than the shawl, or you can knit the shawl version like I did. So yeah, I really, really love this pattern. And let me show you a picture of Tiff's version. So beautiful. And here's another version of this that I really, really love. This version was knit using a very special yarn. Look at that beautiful color. So the yarn that the pattern called for that I just showed you was from North Bay Fiber, the Journey Base, which is a 100% Romney, and it is an Aran weight wool. So in order to knit this pattern, you will need about 326 yards. So you can use a heavy worsted, you can use a Aran weight, you could probably even do a bulky if you wanted it to have a little bit more heft. You just would adjust your needle size according to the yarn you were using. I used two different yarns to knit this. I held them double. One was the Plucky Knitter Cozy DK, and Cozy DK is just such a special base. Unfortunately, it is discontinued, but I still have quite a bit in my stash, so I use it sparingly because I just absolutely love this base. It is a 90% merino, 10% camel composition, and it's 260 yards per skein. And I also use a Plucky lace, which unfortunately is also discontinued, but that is I think it just got a package. I'm telling you, whether I podcast or whether I have a work meeting, and I am like right in the middle of work, I'm just taking a quick break here and there to get this video recorded, there's always some type of interruption. Anyway, I also use Plucky lace, which I think I mentioned is also a discontinued yarn, but it is a 70% merino, 20% silk, and 10% camel base, and just an absolutely lovely, lovely yarn and combination. I held those double, and it made an absolutely beautiful fabric. So if you wanted to mimic what I did, you could just easily use your favorite DK base with a lace weight yarn, and that will get you close to the gauge. So yeah, absolutely love this pattern. I can also see knitting another one of these. It's one of those patterns where I was never able to like fully memorize the lace, the Waffle Ridge repeat, but it was simple enough that I could just mark it off with a pencil where I was in the pattern. Sometimes I think I had like a sticky note, and I just moved the sticky note down to where I was in the pattern. There is a little bit of purling, but not a lot. If you are averse to purling, I personally don't mind purling, but yes, just such a lovely meditative knit. And like I said, this pattern just came out, and I really hope you give it a try because it's absolutely lovely and so much fun to knit. So the next finished object I want to share with you is something I'm also very, very excited about. And let me take this off because I want to try this one on for you as well. This pattern is called the Popple Shawl. And I'm also going to pull this up on my screen so that you can see what this pattern looks like. So there it is, the Popple Shawl, and I purchased a kit from the Lamb & Kid, which is a beautiful yarn store on Bainbridge Island in Washington State. And the yarn that I used to knit mine was Todd Worsted, which is a Lamb & Kid yarn. Todd Worsted is 65% yak, 35% cashmere. So it is a super lovely, squishy, beautiful yarn. And I held that together with, let's see here, with Birdie by Diamond Lane, which is a lace weight yarn, which is composed of 74% alpaca and 24% silk. And there are 328 yards in each one. I needed 1 skein of the Birdie lace, and I needed 2 skeins of the Todd Worsted, but I had some of the Todd Worsted left over. So the Todd Worsted is the darker color you can see here, and this is the Birdie lace right here. As you can see, that Birdie lace is super, super fluffy, and it gives such a lovely halo to your projects. So here is my Popple Shawl in all its lovely glory. So this shawl is constructed, let me see, I think I have it upside down. So you start the shawl in the center here. It starts off with a, what is it called? A garter tab cast on. I think that's what it's called right there. And then you continue with the increases. So the rows, as you can see, get super, super long towards the end of this shawl. But still a very, very enjoyable knit. This lace, this pattern repeat is also something I could not memorize. You probably could. I think it is it a 4-row? I think it's a, hold on. It is a free pattern. So I'm gonna look it up really, really quick to see how many rows it is. So it's actually an 8-row repeat. So yeah, I could not memorize this repeat, but like I said, it was a completely enjoyable scarf to knit. And so just like the shawl I just showed you, this is how I intend to knit this, to wear this, about like so. You can also take the 2 ends here, and sometimes I like to put these in a knot just to make sure. Then I'll tuck it up under for just a lovely, lovely piece to have around your neck. And then you have all of that extra fabric that is just so warm and soothing around the neck. And this is just so soft and luxurious, and it smells amazing. I used a new wool wash, and I'm going to go grab it because I want you to see this. This is from Woolen & Co. It's Woolen & Co. handcrafted lanolin provisions, and this is her lanolin wool wash, and the scent is Love Letter. It's so soft and appealing, not too heavy of a scent, and it left my finished objects just so soft and just perfect. And I also used it to block this. Both of these shawls were wet blocked, and I've been so hesitant, and sometimes I delay on wet blocking my projects because our cat Cashmere loves the scent of wet wool. So if I block something, and before we got Cashmere, I would just put it on our dining room table overnight, and it would be dry the next morning. Sometimes I'd put it on the floor right here over to the right of me. There's like an electric fireplace that gives off heat, and it dries things really, really quickly and really, really nice. But again, Cash will lay on it. He won't just lay on it. He'll just wallow in it and pick at it. And so I have to be really careful about wet blocking my items. These two, I actually took some garbage bags, I think 3 of them, and I laid them out on my mattress and put my my wet items onto those trash bags in my room, because Cash will very rarely go in the bedroom unless we're with him. So that's a little tip if you are a pet owner and you have a difficult time finding places and spaces to block your knitwear. So again, the lovely, lovely Popple shawl by the Lamb & Kid, and I think there are still some kits left on their website. The colors that I used are, so the birdie is shell, and the Todd worsted, the color is cinder, this gray here. Let's see, what else can I share about this? I'm going to point something out to you. I usually don't point out mistakes that I make on my projects, but I'm pointing this out to prove a point. So here's one of my pictures of my finished object, and as you can see, there is a line going across this section here that's not supposed to be there. That's because on the opposite side of this, I knit I think I purled back the entire row using the birdie, which is the white color. So that left a lovely knit line on the right side. And I did not want to rip back because I didn't notice it until several rows up. And I knew it would have been a pain trying to rip back that birdie base. So I just decided to keep it as a design element, and just to prove the point that these shawls, I know I very rarely just wear them around my shoulders as a shawl. This is how I normally wear them, and you can't even see where the mistake is. I think if I pull it up right there, you can see it, but it does, in my opinion, it does not take away from the beauty of this project. So leave me a note in the comments. Let me know, are you like a perfectionist knitter? Does it have to be just absolutely perfect, or can you just let go with a few mistakes here and there? So again, the Popple shawl by the Lamb & Kid. It is a free pattern, which is absolutely lovely. And I hope you will get a chance to knit it. So I had to take a brief break to take care of some work stuff, so I am back. And I realized I have another finished object to share with you. I had this pile here and unveiled another finished object. So this finished object is a pair of socks. So beautiful, right? So this yarn is by the Cozy Knitter, and this is her, I believe it's a 24 striper. And so what I decided to do with that skein, I wanted to make sure I got all of the different colors of the stripes in, and then that's where I ended the sock. So this one, it's a little bit longer in the leg space than I normally knit my socks, but like I said, I wanted to get all 24 stripes in, and I'm so happy that they match. I'm not really too particular about making sure that my stripes match, but it is really nice when they do. So I'm going to put one on a sock blocker. These have not been blocked. Here lately, I tend not to block my socks because I think it stretches them out too much. And I do find that when you wear them, they like self-block. They block themselves. So here it is on a blocker so you can see it. I absolutely love this colorway. And the last time I checked on her website, she had more of these in stock. So definitely check it out. The contrast color here, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is Wintry Mix, which is a color by the Plucky Knitter. It's a really light gray with a really warm undertone colors, as you may or may not be able to see. I would definitely say it's more warm undertones than cool. But in any event, I just think it's just the perfect neutral color. I would love to, I think this color is still available with the Plucky Knitter. I would love an entire garment out of this color here. I just love it so much. One other thing I meant to mention about my Popple shawl. If you've been with me a while, you know I go for all the bright colors, as you can see here. I just love color, which is hence my name, Tie-Dye Diva. That's where that came from. But here lately, I've been thinking about the fact that something that's really lacking in my wardrobe are neutral colors. So, you know, brights are nice, but sometimes it's really nice to have your browns, your neutral beiges and grays, which are really, really lacking in my hand-knit wardrobe. So going forward, you are definitely going to see more of the neutrals in my projects. Lots of colors sprinkled in between, but definitely more neutrals. And the pattern that I use to knit this is my usual go-to, which is the toe-up socks on Magic Loop, which is a pattern by the Crazy Sock Lady. And again, I will link to my project page, so you'll be able to get all of the links to what I use to knit this sock with. So again, another pair of hand-knit socks. That's always lovely, right? So let me put these to the side. So now let's move on to a couple of projects I've been working on. I've been giving my Cozy Memories blanket a really, quite a bit of love here lately. It's also is one of those really simple patterns that you don't need a lot of brain space to knit, and those are the kind of projects I've really been needing here lately. I'll share more I'll share more as I get into a life update. So the first whip I'm going to share with you is hanging out in this lovely, lovely bag. This is by Hohe & Co. And this is my very first Hohe & Co. bag that I purchased whenever she's first opened her business of Hohe & Co. And as you can see, my leather handles are starting to patina, and even the tag is starting to patina, which is really, really nice. It's a 100% leather project bag, and I just love this color. Look how well this matches my sweater. This was completely unplanned. So in here is housing my project of the Age of Brass and Steam, and this is a pattern by Orange Flower, which also dyes Orange Flower yarns. I've got so many stitches on this project that I'm going to have to show this to you as best as I can. So here is the pattern on this project. You can see there's quite a bit of stockinette stitch, which is separated by these beautiful rows of eyelets. The yarn that I'm using is from Nutiden. This, the brand is On Our Ock Air. It's a brand out of Sweden. And I've had this colorway maybe for about a year, so this color is not available. But I'm so happy this is almost done. Hold on, losing my voice again. So happy this is almost done because spring is definitely about to spring. I think it's been a really rough winter here, so spring can't come quick enough. So absolutely beautiful. I love this. The modification that I made on this pattern is I knit one more repeat of the stockinette portion, which is flanked by the lace right here. So beautiful. Really loving this. And I love this beautiful little progress marker that was gifted to me by a dear friend. So yes, I am really enjoying this project. I think that this is going to block out so lovely. And I think it's going to be really warm and cozy. I'm just hoping it's not too warm because of the nature of this yarn. This is a very rustic wool, and even though it's very rustic, it is still very soft to work with. To show you how rustic it is, there's quite a bit of vegetable matter still left in this wool. And it can be very challenging to work with because it is a very loosely spun wool. So if you put too much, too much pressure on it, it will definitely fall to pieces. Fortunately, it will split splice very easily, or you can use just a little bit of water or spit if that is your desire, and you can just meld the two ends right back together. So no issues there. I do think that knitting with it two strands at a time definitely helps with the stability of the yarn, but as you can see, I do still have quite a few areas where the yarn broke that I will have to weave in, which is not a problem at all. So hopefully the next time I show this to you, it will be a finished object. Once again, this is The Age of Brass and Steam, which is a pattern by Orange Flower Yarns. And I can also hold this yarn close up so you can see how lovely it is. This is how much I have left. I think I had 2 100-gram balls of this, or maybe I had 400 grams. I can't remember. So Nutiden comes in these plates of these, they call them plates, and they're about this big around. And I'm going to show it to you later because a recent order for the yarn just came in. Really struggling with my voice today, so taking lots of water breaks. So here's the yarn close up, and hopefully you can see the bits of gray and how the green is even variegated, very subtle, maybe even some pops of yellow. Just an absolutely beautiful yarn. This is how much I have left. This will probably be enough to complete the shawl. So this is going to go back in stash, and perhaps it will work really well for a sweater I want to make. I've been collecting this Nutiden yarn for quite some time, and I'm dreaming of like an oversized, really cozy striped cardigan using the Nutiden. So I would love it if I can incorporate this color in that cardigan. So stay tuned for that. There's more vegetable matter. All right, so again, that is The Age of Brass and Steam by Orange Flower Yarns. The final project I'm going to share with you is also hanging out in a Hohe and Co bag. So beautiful. This pattern is called, give me a second. It is also a free pattern from the Lamb & Kid. That much I can tell you. And this is also from a kit that I purchased from the Lamb & Kid, which I think is still available. So this pattern is called the Betwixt shawl. Again, it is a pattern by the Lamb & Kid. And there is Sarah Diamond posing for her shawl. Everything I know about styling shawls, I learned from Sarah. She is the queen of styling shawls. So as you can see in this photo, it is quite a large, oversized shawl. And what really drew me to this pattern, I'm gonna hold this up so hopefully you'll be, I blew this picture up, hopefully you'll be able to see. If you look in the center of the shawl, you will see that it is a stockinette stitch portion, and it is actually comprised of 7 stitches, which make up the stockinette portion. And here is the progress I have made on my Betwixt shawl. And I'm pretty sure it was named Betwixt because in between all this lovely garter stitch is this lovely stockinette stitch panel. This too is a lovely, lovely pattern. It includes increases on both sides of the shawl, so it knits up really, really quickly. And the yarns that I used, the yarn that I used to knit, that I am using, I should say, to knit my shawl is, no need in relying on my memories if I got the notes right here. So like I said, this was also a kit. So I'm using the Diamond Lane Birdie in this project also, and that is the white. I'm sorry. Yes, no, sorry. The Diamond Lane Birdie is this color here, which is this beautiful brown. And the color is actually Cafe. I don't know if you keep up with the Pantone color of the year, but everybody is flocking to these beautiful mocha and orangey brown colors, and I am totally here for it because this is definitely in my wheelhouse, as you can see here. So this is the Birdie, and the lighter color is also by Diamond Lane. It is their Elmer Fingering. And Elmer Fingering is also such a lovely yarn. The Elmer Fingering is 80% merino and 20% cashmere goat. And the Diamond Lane Birdie, as I mentioned earlier, but the other project is 74% alpaca and 26% silk. And that's what they look like together. And this is what it looks like knitted up in this lovely shawl. So I am knitting this as the pattern indicated on a US 8 needle. I'm sorry, a US 10 needle. And I'm using Knit Pro, I think these are Knit Pro Zing needles. But as you can see, my stitches are really bunched up on this shawl. So I did purchase a larger needle that I will be transferring these stitches onto very soon. So again, another lovely, lovely pattern. I'm so excited to be able to work on this shawl. And it will definitely fill a space in my wardrobe for the warmer months that are coming up, where you still have some of those chillier days. So that's pretty much it for the finished objects and the works in progress, things that I've been working on. So let's talk about a few acquisitions that have arrived since the last time we chatted. I have purchased some fiber from On Our Air, which is the company that is mostly known for Newton yarn, which is what I just showed you in my green shawl. She has recently started adding fiber on a regular basis to her website, and I was totally enabled to buy this from my dear friend Tasha. And I think we both got this colorway. How gorgeous is this? This is what marks Newton yarns and Newton fiber from so many others, that just really subtle variations in color. I have a spinning project on my wheel right now, and I know that when that is complete, this is going to be next up on the wheel. I don't even know what the fiber content is in here. It's definitely it's very woolly, but just like the Newton yarn, it's super soft. So this is going to be so lovely to spin, and I'm just going to let it do what it wants to do. Although I'm thinking I would love this as like an Aran weight or a bulky weight. I think it would just be so lovely in a shawl, or maybe some color work of a sweater, such as what I'm wearing now. So we'll just have to see. We'll see what it ends up spinning up to. Oh, I just noticed those blues. Look at that blue. So pretty. And this color is Melina. Also, like I said, I've been collecting this yarn, and I really don't need any more of it to complete the project I want to complete, which is a stripe color work cardigan. But I was watching the ladies of Knitting a Good Yarn podcast. It's Carmen and oh goodness, I cannot think of the other girl's name, but I will link to their podcast at in the show notes. But I believe it was Carmen who was wearing a cardigan out of this color, and I just could not resist it. So this has some flecks of blue and pink and gray, and it's just so lovely. So I ended up getting 4 of these 100-gram plates. And this is what I was talking about earlier, about the way Newton yarn is presented to you when you purchase it. They call these plates. There are a couple of other makers who do this yarn. I think Lopi was the first, or one of the first, to create this loosely plied yarn. So I have 4 plates of this, which is more than enough to work into a sweater. And I'm thinking it would be really lovely if this was the main color for the sweater. And then all the other specialty colorways I have could be the contrast colors. So happy, so excited about this. I got to get this stuffed into a Ziploc bag so the cash won't get to it. So the final acquisition I'm going to share with you is from Cheney P's Corner. And a couple of months back, I purchased the Cheney's 2025 Self-Love Box. And here it is. I'm going to, off camera, open up this package so you don't have to deal with the crinkling. So the last time I checked, these were still available on her website. If so, I will definitely link. I'll link to her shop anyway. So Chantel was originally known for creating these amazing, really unique pins that you can use to adorn your project bags or even your clothing. I'm thinking I would love to just put this on a shawl, or either a like a silk neck scarf. That's another thing I've been getting into here lately. I just like little neck scarves. I just think they're so feminine. But I plan on really making better use of all these pins I've collected over the years. So this one says Sip and Stitch. which is so cute. And there's also a sticker that says the same thing. You also get these beautiful, beautiful stitch markers, little coffee beans. How fun is that? And you get this recipe for an espresso martini. And I think I'm going to have to try this sooner rather than later. And to get you started, there is a little packet of Cafe Bustelo espresso. So how cool is that? But Cheney, where's the vodka? Just kidding. I think it's illegal to send liquor in the mail, but yeah, so I'm really, really looking forward to making this espresso martini. Oh, it also, so the ingredients are 1.5 ounces of vodka, 1.5 ounces of Kahlua, which is a coffee liqueur, and 1.5 ounces of espresso coffee. So yeah, this is so cool. It goes in a shaker and we're good to go. So I think I have everything except the Kahlua. And I have to price out Kahlua because it's been years since I've purchased it. It was pricey back in the day, and I know it's pretty pricey now. I may end up choosing like an off-brand. So long as it's a coffee liqueur, I'm sure it'll be fine. And then it also included these 2 lovely skeins of yarn. So take a look at this. How absolutely beautiful is this? This is something I think I want to knit up sooner rather than later. Oh my goodness. I'm thinking initially like a summer tee would be so cute with this. What do you think? Maybe some striping or maybe a shawl. So let me know if you have any ideas for what I should do with these 2 lovely skeins. This one here is from 3 by the Sea. And it is a 75-25% superwash merino yarn, 463 yards. This gorgeous brown, the color is timber. Oh, this color here is fairy ring. This color here is timber by Seismic yarn. I wish you could feel how soft this yarn is. Oh, it's just so beautiful. This is 437 yards. It is an 85-15 superwash merino nylon blend. So, so beautiful. This is also super soft. Together, they're going to make something really, really special. So thank you so much, Chantel, for such a fun self-love package, which I think it could not have come at a more appropriate time. So let's just go into a brief life update. Shortly after I podcasted, we got some devastating news that we lost yet another family member. As a matter of fact, we will be memorializing them this coming Saturday, which is a couple of days from now. So it was not expected at all. They passed away suddenly, so it's been really, really difficult just processing that and just dealing with all the things that are involved in making sure you just honor that person for who they were, and just thinking about supporting the family members who were really, really affected by their death. So that's what I've been up to. As a matter of fact, behind me, behind my couch there are a plethora of things ordered from Amazon. I've been charged with assisting with the food arrangements for the comfort meal after the memorial service. So there's the ice maker again. So been really, really busy with that. And yeah, so that has been taking up quite a bit of my time and my mental space. So that's why I said these simple projects have been really right on time. And it has allowed me to continue in my making, continue in my knitting and crochet, which I consider to be a part of my self-care. So I'm so grateful for these simple projects. So in addition to that, just this past Sunday, we got news that we lost yet another dear friend of the family. As a matter of fact, I would consider her family because she actually lived with my mom for several years before my mom passed away in 2019. And she was young, well under 50 years old. And so when we got the call Sunday, it was completely shocking. And honestly, we're still just trying to process that. Yeah, so it's been really, really hard. We're grieving pretty hard in this family. It's been tough, but we're getting through it. We're getting through it one day at a time, one stitch at a time, one journaling entry at a time. And like I was telling my dear friend last night, we were at our place of worship, and it was a very it was somber because her death was announced, and it was tough. I knew it was going to be tough, and I was telling a dear friend, we've been here before. Maybe not to this extent, losing someone so young, so sudden, but we have had tremendous loss before, and we've gotten through it by relying on each other and our faith. And we're going to do it again. We're just going to continue in our routine. We're going to give ourselves lots of love and grace and self-care and support one another as best as we can. So I know that I'm not the only one dealing with this. I know as I'm talking about this, unfortunately, there are a lot of other people who are dealing with the same thing. So in addition to all the other things that are going on in the world right now. So I truly hope that your time here today has been relaxing and rejuvenating and has given you something to just take your mind off of whatever has your heart really heavy right now. That's what my making, my journaling, my knitting, crochet, cooking, that's what all of it does for me. In addition to continuing in my making, been taking lots of time, as I mentioned in the previous episode, for fun things, doing things, getting outside, getting out of my comfort zone, and doing fun things too. So I'm going to close out the video with a fun thing that Ray and I did a couple of weeks back, and a couple of other photos of the projects I shared with you, and anything else I think might be able to lift your spirits as we as I think about those that I've lost over the past few weeks. And I hope that you continue to take care of yourselves. Again, let me know what you're doing in the comment section to get through these turbulent times that we're living in. What's your favorite style of knitting or crochet or sewing? What's your thing that really, really gets you through? I would really love to hear. So until the next time, continue to be well, continue to be safe, continue to hug your loved ones, show love to your loved ones. And if you're thinking about a person you haven't talked to in a while and you've been thinking about them, pick up the phone, make a phone call, do a text message, because life is so uncertain and we just don't know from one day to the next how quickly things can change. So I'll leave you with that thought, and here are a few photos to close out the video, and I will see you again in the next one. Bye-bye.